Christina here with IdeateTV. I am here with Bjorn Östa.
Perfect.
Yes.
Honorable Swede.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wish. He created Good Idea, which is an incredible sparkling water. Could you tell us a little bit about the product?
Absolutely. A Good Idea is a beverage that you drink with your food and will help regulate your blood sugar. So it's something we all need today. Drink it with your lunch and you stay awake after lunch so you won't fall asleep when your boss has your boring presentation, right? It helps to stave your sugar cravings, and if you drink it with all your meals, it'll help you establish a healthy blood sugar level. That'll help you stay away from developing diabetes or obesity and whatnot. It's also the perfect beverage for anyone on a diet. So the challenge with dieting is that you tend to lose muscle mass also when you lose fat tissue. But the chromium in our product will help maintain muscle mass over fat tissue. So it's really an ideal beverage for lunch or meals. Regulate blood sugar, help maintain your healthy weight.
Yes, I think your coworker told me that to have a couple sips of this or have a drink of this a little bit before you have a meal, and it helps to regulate. Is that how you would recommend doing it?
Yeah, so drink, start like anytime you sit down for lunch, you pour yourself a glass, start drinking, and you put food on the plate and you start eating, right? So you drink about half or 1/3 just before, and then the rest during your food. The blood sugar reduction is proven, and we have done 9 clinical studies, and there are more in works. And we'll prove that the total blood sugar reduction from that meal will be in the range of 25 to 30%, which is quite dramatic.
What is it in here that makes that happen?
The secret sauce, if you like, is 5 amino acids and chromium, and they're all what we call, food scientists and nutritionists will call essential, meaning we need to have them in our food. And they're in actually quite small quantities too, so there's no risk of overdosing or anything, right? It's just a perfect blend, and the 5 amino acids help trigger an early insulin release. In layman word, they prime the system, so the system is ready to process blood glucose when the glucose has made its way through the stomach into the blood. And the chromium kicks in at the other end by making the insulin more efficient. So your body needs less insulin and it processes the blood sugar far more efficiently. Instead of getting a spike and a crash, you get a lower curve and a more elongated curve. And the elongated curve helps you feel satisfied longer, so you no hunger cravings, no sugar cravings.
Incredible. So now I know you're quite the entrepreneur. What inspired you to get into Good Idea?
So, well, my brother invented way back when a process to make milk from oats, and in 2001 we formed a company called Oatly that is today turning the plant-based milk market upside down here in the US. We've already done that in the rest of the world. And I'm still very much involved on the board of Oatly and heavily involved in that. But the key thing here is that we took the R&D function out of Oatly and started a separate R&D company back in 2008, where we look at all kinds of metabolic issues or the common health issues like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure. And we're dead set on developing foods that help, maybe not cure, but help prevent. We believe strongly in healthy food for prevention of developing lifestyle diseases. And most of our research have, for natural reasons, been all around oats and health properties in oats. And there's a wealth of health properties in oats that we're doing research and doing a lot of clinical studies, but that's not published yet. That will come and I think also revolutionize some of these, how we prevent developing some of these lifestyle diseases. But when you're doing that kind of work, sometimes you come across other thoughts, other ideas that didn't really contain oats, but are addressing the same issue and that fit with our competences. And Good Idea is an example of that. It's a pure fluke kind of coincidence. We've run into another scientific team that had discovered that amino acids had some really interesting properties. It fitted with what we were doing, and we formed a team together with them, and out of that came the addition of chromium, and we discovered the optimal blend, the optimal mix. And we felt that a product like this, there's such a big need for a product like this in the market. Everybody should really drink it all the time, period. And we were just excited, like maybe, we should try to take this to the market, and in some humble way we could say with Oatly we changed the dairy industry. With this product we want to change the water industry.
Yeah, that's incredible, incredible. So where could someone find Good Idea now?
We are, first of all, you can go to Amazon and buy it on Amazon for sure. We are also in the Bay Area. We are in restaurants and supplying directly to offices. We feel this is the ideal beverage for corporate America to have with lunch. Again, stay awake after lunch and ultimately help, stay away from developing any of these conditions. We are also in retail. We're distributed nationwide by KeHE. So you can buy us in some 200-300 supermarkets by now. Texas Central Market, for example, a bunch of supermarkets up in Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois area, and here in California for sure.
Thank you so much. Now, just my final question is, you're a very successful businessman. You have had success, which is very difficult in this industry. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start up into business? Maybe they're a little timid.
Well, it's kind of like the advice my dad gave me on my wedding day. He said there's 3 things to successful marriage, and I found that those 3 things apply to a successful business too. Number 1 is patience, and number 2 is patience, and number 3 is patience, right? I mean, meaning that it takes time. Don't be afraid for it to take time. Oatly is a 20-year-old overnight success. I don't intend to do this for 20 years, but we all read and think about overnight successful companies, and sure, there are some that succeed, right? But the truth is that it's a gritty bit. You have to be in there, be prepared to be there for the long run, and don't be afraid of it, right? It's actually embrace that, and that's how you learn and evolve and develop. But I don't know, that might be helpful. That might actually scare some people away.
I think that's incredible to enjoy the process of trying to.
And that's why I'm here again with a startup. I find in my world I really enjoy these early stages when it's, all bets are off and there are no guidelines or rules to follow because no one has done this before. We're chartering in uncharted waters, right? We're traveling in uncharted waters, and you have to be nimble, be brave, be bold, and be patient.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Bjorn. I really appreciate you talking with us. Christina here at Christina here with IdeateTV.